Good morning, friends. Actually, I was supposed to come yesterday and not keeping well, so I couldn't come. But it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I could watch the Tendulkar's inning last night yesterday. Very emotional moment for all of us. So the objective for me today was to just talk about security organization and organization structure, and I would like to, talk about how my journey has started in HDFC Bank. And actually it's a good case study also in terms of how the organization evolves as the expectations out of the information security teams are changing and evolving and demands are changing and evolving given the threat landscape, given the compliance landscape and so many other things. So I joined the bank somewhere in January 2007 and I was the first person to come on board as far as information security team is concerned. Prior to that, really the team was and expectations were managed out of the audit teams and also some part was done by the IT teams. So there was a clear vacuum in terms of what the information security team needs to do. And when the department was formed and last around 7 years now, we have around 15 people who are driving the strategy, looking at the information security program, risk management, and really making sure that the program management is ongoing improvement. Okay? But while it was happening, I think what is also, if you see the larger information security organization structure, then you have large amount of teams which are embedded within the IT teams, within the operations team. And if I look at that larger organization structure, then we have over 200 plus teams which are delivering information security for the bank. And the design that these teams are operating on is actually developed by the core information security team, which is the 15-member team that I talked about. And something interesting happened early this year, which is, we started looking at how the team has grown and HR started having an interest in terms of how the roles are getting defined. And we started looking at what's the career path, what is the definition of an information security role, and how do we grow this organization and what are the expectations. And that's when I took a step back and to start looking at, what are the parallel examples that we can take. And if you look at how technology has evolved, and it goes back to my previous organization, a multinational bank, which has actually changed how the technology was delivered. And one of the models that was adopted was ITIL model, where we have service support group, problem management, incident management, change management, and service desk, and quality. And ITIL was the first time where technology got clear definition in terms of how the roles and responsibilities need to be defined within the technology space. So what is the ITIL equivalent for information security is what my question was. And how do we create that same logical structure, which can be a consistent structure, which can be consumed, used by the industry large, and see what is it that it is. And that's when I started looking at what is happening across the globe, what's happening within the country, what are the team sizes. And to my surprise, I realized that there's not much work which has happened in terms of definition of a standard information security roles within the industry. And each organization has evolved its own structure. Clearly we have the larger expectation in terms of what needs to be done very clearly defined, but then within that, we have so much of disparity in terms of how delivery is actually happening. And that's not really good for the industry, because then how do we define the roles, how do we give career paths, and how do we make sure that we have core competencies developed within those each different individuals who will be doing and performing those roles. So I think it was very important, understanding that I could get from what the survey was all about. And then when we started looking at the research work, there are various teams which have done research work, and it's again not very consistent in terms of what those roles are emerging. Now, if you look at how information security is delivered, you would have various aspects. Like, for example, you have application security, security operations, cryptography, malware management, and various other things. So we have 21 different components against which we drive a program within the bank. And what we saw, how it was evolved, is that we started giving those individual components to specific individuals, looking at saying that this is your role and these are the areas that you handle. So somebody will be looking at compliance, internal, external, both governance, policy, and risk. And then looking at application security and additional stuff. So we started finding out that the leverage that you want to have in terms of making sure that the role is really responsible for components which are interoperability is there, and there is a tight connection between them, so that we can have more leverage in terms of how those roles are actually getting defined. And that's why we started seeing that because we have evolved over a period of time and had different roles being given to individuals based on the organic growth, we started seeing those inconsistencies in terms of how there were actually overlaps within the teams and also incompatibilities in terms of what individuals are doing. So, having said all this, and this is the problem definition, what we found was that there is a need to actually start looking at these different 21 components and start looking at what are the logical components based on which we can start creating roles which can be attributed to individuals. And something emerged. And there were 4 or 5 different roles which emerged, and I will very quickly tell you what those are. So the first one is talking really about security oversight. And one of the important components within security oversight is relationship management. Now, relationship management typically is something which is more with customer and a person who's trying to sell a product. But I think when it comes to security, I think it is very important that you make business accountable for the risk and make business sponsor the remediation of the risk. And that's one of the first principles that we have always talked about. But to make sure that that objective is achieved, it is extremely important to engage with business, and therefore there should be a different role defined which will engage with the business and build that relationship. And the relationship can be built by having ongoing regular steering meetings, ongoing engagement in terms of what are the issues which are specific to those teams, and then trying to make sure that there is a value addition in terms of making sure whatever actionables are there are getting delivered. And that's where we get business along with you on the table when we talk about security problem. And we found it very interesting because we have started doing that engagement with our teams which require the security the most, which is the net banking and digital banking team and the credit card and payments team. And we see that by doing that, we're getting more and more clarity and visibility in terms of what the business actually wants. A lot of times what we've seen is that when you're looking at security, especially if the security is embedded within technology, is that we start seeing that you are far removed from business. And you start assuming what the expectations are and start delivering those without really knowing whether it is really adding value to the business. So building a relationship, embedding the relationship within the security and engaging with the business is something which could be part of the security oversight role. And the other thing is in terms of compliance management, and I think in today's world when there is a heavy regulatory regime in terms of expectations from regulators for doing security in a certain way and engaging with them to make sure that there is proper alignment between what your strategy is and what their regulatory expectations are. And secondly, internal expectations from your audit team as well. So, managing that. And then, the next thing is related to how do we start looking at the overall governance framework. So that's really how that security oversight kind of a role is getting defined, which is more outward facing, managing the expectations and governing the whole security program. The next role is really the policy and risk management role. Define the policy, standards and procedures, and then manage the risk, which is the core of what we do in risk management and within the security. Moving to the next one is talking about security architecture and solutions and engineering. And obviously, when you look at the difference, and again here there is different examples that you will see in the industry in terms of how security, IT security and information security is managed. I have seen there are, I think half of the organizations are still having security, information security within the IT organization structure, and there's lack of independence in terms of how that information security role actually evolves for the organization as a whole. But if you look at my team, we are completely independent of technology, and therefore we are able to define that agenda which is holistic for the bank and not specific to technology. And that engagement of business that I talked about can be much more fulfilling and complete if you have that independence from the technology group. So that's, I think, very important. But having said that, while you're doing that, having the independence, you need to have a strong communication channel with your technology teams. So a lot of times, we find that the CISO having a dotted line to the group head of technology. But also, finally, the IT architecture is owned by technology. And security architecture is part of that. So while you are making an independent team, it is good from a risk and compliance and objective point of view. But the technology architecture should ideally be resting with the technology teams, can be a separate team, and you engage functionally very strongly with them and align with them to make sure that your technology, your expectations from a security objectives point of view are delivered by the technology team. So that's the way, when I talk about architecture and solution engineering within the information security, it's all about making sure that there is a defined expectation and business case definition and business drivers defined in terms of what you expect out of the security architecture and design that security architecture. But the eventual delivery, the nuts and bolts are still with technology, because then there are a lot of synergies which can be achieved within the technology. I think the last is where the tricky part is. The fourth role could be the security operations group and operations center, which is really managing the incident and change management within the security organization. Basically making sure that you have a deeper understanding of what's happening to your network, a deeper understanding of how you do a preventive and detection strategies, and making sure that full end-to-end life cycle of all incidents are managed. So we know that SOC has been maturing over a period of time, so there's not much tweaking required in terms of that role. But the last role, which is really, and here again, the business continuity, the physical and environmental security, the privacy, all these areas are standalone activities. And for example, in my team, business continuity, privacy, and physical and environmental security is part of our responsibility. It's part of our mandate to make sure that we deliver it. And I know there are certain companies in India which are also looking at those mandates and driving it. And the reason these mandates have come to the security team is because they are an opportunity which is lying untapped by anyone. And unless you go and ask and demand and start taking accountability and responsibility for that, it's just going to be there waiting for somebody to come and ask you to do it, or somebody else starting it. But what we're seeing is that there is a lot of, again, the way we have done the information security program, we just had to make a very small incremental change to our information security policy to achieve the requirement of privacy perspectives. So why do we really need to create a separate team which has that accountability and therefore starts creating everything from the scratch? So I think that's another area of evolution, and the roles which we have defined in those areas are going to be in the areas of that business continuity, privacy, and physical and environmental security. So since we don't have much time, I think these are the few thoughts that I wanted to actually give you in terms of how the evolution of security teams have happened and are happening in the organization. I think the size of the team is actually a very important point of debate, and we have seen extreme. I have seen one CISO team driving a big conglomerate, and I have seen organizations which have got 1,000 plus security team members to drive the security program in a bank. So there is obviously a vast disparity between one and thousands. But I think we need to find a balance. We need to build a standardization so that we can answer the question that what is the size which is the most optimal for our organization. And that is right now not very clear. So there is a lot of work required to be done as us industry folks to standardize, create some frameworks, engage with the businesses so that the business case is very clearly defined. I have a significant challenge right now that there are not many banks in the country, local Indian banks, who have got information security teams beyond 15. Okay, so we are kind of largest. So how do we then scale? Because we clearly know that we need to have more people for us to deliver the challenge that we have in terms of meeting all the expectations and even the new threat landscapes which are there. We need to have proper strategy defined and proper governance around that. So that's work in progress, I guess. But we got to work and make sure that we deliver on those scale expectations and build a stronger security team to meet ourselves for future. Thank you very much and have a good conference.